Welcome to another edition of the Montell Ice Griff Boxing Show with your host, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Montell Ice Griffin. What's up, buddy?
What's the deal, baby? What's the deal, man? I'm feeling real good. I woke up this morning, so I'm doing great.
Okay, but we got a special guest in here. We got to give some special love.
Tell
Former teammate of Montell Ice Griffin on that 1992 Olympian team. Went on to win 3 world titles as a light middleweight champion of the world. Give it up for Raul, El Diamante Marquez. What's up, big baby?
All right, man. I'm doing great. I was hoping you said El Diamante because that's everything. That is everything.
I said it right.
Oh, you said it right. You got
it.
You even got the Mexican accent down with it.
El Diamante. Let's go, baby.
I love it. Hey, if you're in Chicago,
Yes, sir.
With all the Mexicans over there, that's why you got a good accent. You got a good Mexican Latino accent, man. You did a hell of a job.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Raul, you know I live in a Mexican neighborhood. I drink micheladas and I eat tacos.
I love the way. Can you say me micheladas again? I love your accent too, man. Oh, there we go. There we go.
I drink wine with Tecate. Michelada.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Next time you come to the city, you got to come hang out where I'm at. I'm in South Loop. It's beautiful down there. It's a beautiful thing. You will love the food.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't know if you know this, Montell, but I used to live in Chicago Heights. Probably like in 1972, 73, 74. My brother was born there. Yeah. My brother was born there.
That's in suburban ghetto.
Yes.
That's the suburban ghetto.
Well,
that's like the bad part of the suburbs.
Right. I used to live there many years ago, man. And we lived there. It was me, my mom, and my dad, and then my brother was born there. And but we moved from Chicago Heights or Chicago, whatever, because of the weather, man. We couldn't deal with the cold weather. You know what I mean? Right. That weather is crazy over there. We couldn't deal with the snow. Yes.
So where'd you move to?
Houston, Texas. Hot and humid, baby. Hot and humid. We love the humidity. Yeah, we love the humidity. We love the heat, and we bring the heat.
When I was out there in Houston with 92 with y'all, it would rain, and it rained cats and dogs, and in 20 minutes it'd be dry and sunny outside.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Humidity was awesome.
All of a sudden you got a bunch of rain. All of a sudden you got the sun coming out. Then you got rain again. It just changes, man. It changes from day to night.
Yeah, I came in 92. It was you. It was Melvin Foster, Tim Littles, Edgerton Marcus, Evander Holyfield. Melvin Foster was there. The little guy was there. Arturo Gotti was there. And what's the little guy? The little fast guy from St. Louis.
Eddie Hobson. Over there at it might have to be the Heights gym, right? I think it was a Heights gym.
Probably so. It was like an older
warehouse.
Older warehouse. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I met Holyfield at the Olympics. And I'm not thinking nothing. We met each other, and I seen him again. I walked to the gym. He was shadow boxing, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, you ain't gonna speak to me?" I was like, man, I don't mean no disrespect. I said, bro, I didn't think you was gonna know who I was. And I'm like, he's like, man, you ain't gonna speak to me? I'm like, come on, Holyfield, stop, man. You're a legend, man.
Hey, guys, can I ask El Diamante a question real quick, man? Okay, I just want to know, because you won the world championship 3 times and you traveled the world and you've done all that, but I just want to ask Ice before Ice get into his spiel. When did you start boxing? I just want to know, because you guys are great, man. You're Montell.
Yeah. Well, you know what? My father was always a big boxing fan, when he lived in Mexico, and he followed all the great Mexican fighters from the past, like Ruben Olivares, Carlos Zarate. And, he's the one that introduced me to boxing, man. When I was here in Houston, PABA, Reverend Ray Martin on Dowling Street. It's still there. PABA, man, Progressive Amateur Boxing Association. Reverend Ray Martin, a great man that did a lot of good for, the street kids and try to get kids out of the street and, make them do something in life. And that's where I started boxing. My dad took me there. I went there, I would train in the garage at my house, and he filled up an army bag. We couldn't afford a real heavy bag, So filled up an army bag with sawdust, So he filled it up with sawdust. So that was my heavy bag. He put a what do you call it, a speed bag in the garage, and he taught me what he knew just from learning from the Mexican legends. And then we joined the boxing gym, man. And after that, everything was history, man.
How old were you?
I was about 7 years old, man. That was like
probably,
1978, 79, around that time. In 1980, I had my first amateur fight at the Salvation Army Boys Club. It was back then what, Montell, back then we didn't have to wear t-shirts or shirts, tank tops. So it was almost like the pros. We wore a headgear and no shirt, and I won my first amateur fight, and I went undefeated for many fights. And like I said, the rest is history, man.
Wow. Hey, well, let me get started. Two things I want to say. The first thing, you made a comment, so I got to ask you. Okay, I want to ask you how you feel about it. I talked to Ruben Olivares at Canastota at the Hall of Fame. I said, who is the greatest Mexican champion ever? He said, I am. He said, I never quit before. So what do you mean? What do you take out of that?
Well, I mean, I guess he's trying to say that, everybody, a lot of Hispanics or Mexican, people that think that probably Julio Cesar Chavez is the best Mexican fighter ever. And I guess he's saying he quit in certain fights, right? It just depends, Montell, what era you come from. My dad, he learns a lot from Ruben Olivares, and he tries to teach my son, Giovanni, who's 19 years old. He's an amateur boxer, from fighters like Ruben Olivares. He was a good defensive fighter too. He wasn't just a come forward fighter. I grew up watching Julio Cesar Chavez. So every time they ask me, who do you think is the best fighter coming out of Mexico? Well, I'll say Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime. Okay, that's what I feel. But I mean, Ruben Olivares was a bad dude too, man. He was a great fighter, bantamweight, moved up to different weight categories, won titles. It just depends what area you come from, and when you ask somebody who's the best Mexican fighter, Salvador Sanchez, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you who the most underrated Mexican fighter ever is Orlando Canizales. Orlando Canizales and Canelo are the two slickest Mexicans I've ever seen in my life. Orlando don't get no respect.
Right. I couldn't disagree with you. I totally agree. If you're looking at, finesse, technique, I know everybody sees boxing a different way, but at the end of the day is hit and not get hit, Right. Me, I came forward, I got hit, I took 3 or 4 shots to give him one. That was my style. But when you're talking about the Iceman, Montell, okay.
We talking about Raul Marquez right now.
No. You were a defensive fighter. You had beautiful, you had the style that a guy like me in a 3-round fight, I wouldn't want to fight you in an amateur fight because of your style. It's hard to get to you. You know what I mean? It would take some more rounds because you were very defensive and slick. But you're right about Orlando Canizales. Orlando Canizales was a very skillful fighter, underrated. You're right. He fought some great fights, and his defense was unbelievable. At the same time, his counter-punching ability was great. I mean, he did a really good job inside the ring. He knew the boxing ring, and he gave you a boxing school, school of boxing. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you've been in the gym since you were 7. You're a TV commentator for Showtime. How do you feel about Canelo? What do you put Canelo?
Canelo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Up until he, when he came back and he beat Triple G the second time, my hats are off to him, man. My hats are off to him. I wasn't completely convinced from Canelo, but man, he's a complete package. He's got the power, he's got great defensive skills.
Great.
Really great. He's got good speed, for his weight class and for being Latino, Hispanic, he's pretty fast. He's pretty he's pretty slick. He's pretty slick, and he's a well-rounded fighter, man. I think he's good. I really think he's good. Like I said, when he came back and he beat Triple G, my hats are off to him, man. He's an excellent fighter.
I saw Roy Jones do an interview, and Roy Jones said that I don't want to hear no complaining from Triple G. He said, You said Canelo moved and went backwards the first fight. That he fought your fight the second time.
He did.
Ain't no comparison. Ain't no comparison. He walked you down.
Exactly. That's another thing that I was going to tell you. Canelo said he was going to be there in the second fight. He was going to be there. He was going to stand toe to toe. And guess what? He stood toe to toe, made him miss, made him pay. He gave Triple G the fight that he wanted, and Triple G just couldn't find solutions, man.
Right. I don't hear no more excuses. He fought his style. You know what I'm saying? The first fight, when I saw Canelo moving using his legs, I told somebody, I said, he's going to get tired. And he was dead tired. Round 10 and round 11, 9, 10, and 11, he was dead tired. He finished out round 12 real good. I thought Triple G won the fight. Even though I'm a Canelo fan, I thought Triple G won the fight. But the rematch, he changed his game plan. He saved energy. He didn't burn. You know who I got that from? Georgie Benton. I was in Houston. Georgie Benton said, kid, you got it all, but you're moving too much. He said, just take steps and inches and just get out the way, you know what I'm saying, and just drift around. And I save on energy, and it was, you know, successful. So that's what Canelo did the second fight.
Absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, you're right.
So I got you on here for a reason. I'm gonna ask you a question. This ain't you. I know you humble on camera, but you know you're an asshole off camera. So let's be real. Let's be real. You my man. I love you. How do it feel? This is one thing I've never felt in my life. How do it feel being an amateur star? You was an amateur star. You know what I'm saying? It was Eric Griffin. It was Oscar De La Hoya. It was Larry Donald, you, and Timmy Austin. And Sergio. Y'all was the stars. Y'all was the stars. I was just a guy who just came on the scene and just tried to fill in, and you know what I'm saying? How did you feel being an amateur star?
Oh man, I back then I was young. And to a certain extent I was cocky in a good way, because I would still back it up. I would back it up by winning, and it was the amateurs in my life, man, is something I'm never gonna forget, and I was, like you said, can I say that I was one of the amateur stars? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I did a lot of interviews, I got a lot of attention, and it was great to be on top for many years. Like, I was on the national team from 1989 to 1992 when I made the Olympic team. 4 years of traveling the world, different cities, different countries. We were all over the world, and always, getting that attention, getting, the press wanted to interview me, and always the people that knew about boxing always, said, hey, that kid's gonna have a good professional career. I had there was a lot of hype behind me, Eric Griffin, Oscar De La Hoya, who else? Larry Donald. Larry was pretty well known because he was a good talker too, So it was an honor, man, to be part of the USA national team for 4 years and to be on top for so many years and to get all that attention, just being a top elite amateur fighter. But
everybody was on their A game when they came to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the X on your back.
Everybody, when they were gonna fight me, when they drew me, like in a tournament, they were extra motivated. It was hard, man, because they were extra. You're right. That's an extra motivation. They want to take my spot, and they performed to their best. I was in a lot of tough. There was a lot of tough guys in my weight class, man. Antoine Eccles, Robert Allen, Lonnie Bradley, Ravea Springs. Man, them are tough guys, and I had close fights. Let's not forget when I was a welterweight, Emmett Litton, Laser Litton. He was a really good for Emmett. We talk every now and then. We fought like 5 times, man. We had a lot of close fights. He beat me before, and I beat him. He was a top dog too, man. It was Patrick Bird, Chris Bird's brother. I just feel like back then there was so much competition, and it was like, I want to tell you, man, it was about this much or even this much that separated the number 1 guy, the number 2 guy, the number 3 guy. Anybody could have had an off day, and you would probably lose because you had an off day. That's how competitive it was, man. It was incredible, man.
What you just named, it was you, Ravea Springs, who I say was probably the most complete fighter in our 92.
Scary.
Skill, speed, power, everything.
Oh my God, yes. Ravea, especially, now you got to think, especially in a 3-round fight. I always say this, we're talking about the amateurs, in a 3-round fight, Ravea, his skills were unbelievable. You know, his footwork, his speed, and he had power too. He had power, man. He dazed me a couple of times. The dude had power. He had tremendous talent. Ravel Springs, man, I'm not gonna lie. You needed more than 3 rounds to try to beat that guy because he was a great amateur fighter, man. He was really good.
But Bob, I'm talking about Ravel Springs, who ended up turning pro, fought for a cruiserweight world title.
Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, the Cincy.
Robert Allen had 5 knockouts in the U.S. championships. Now look, Raul, look, me, Sean Fletcher, and Chris Bird was brought into a room. I don't know if it was legal or not. I don't know if it was legal. They brought me in the room. They said, Montell, if you win the U.S. championships, we're gonna send you to Florida to fight against Germany, the #1 team. I said, okay. Right. So I'm like, I'm cool. I won the U.S. championships. I go to camp. I go to the U.S. championships. I mean, I go to Colorado Springs. I don't know this. I'm waiting to see De La Hoya, Marquez, Eric Griffin, Larry Donald. I seen names I never seen before. I said, they the #1 team. And I asked, what's the coach, the Army coach from Jesse Rivallo. I said, Jesse, what's going on? He said, Griff, they fucked you. So fuck it, leave it alone and get prepared. That's when I fought the world champ from Moscow, Tanyafka. You know what I'm saying? But I should have went to Florida with y'all. They sent Denard Trapp and John Ruiz, and I beat both of them. See, if I would have fought Torsten Meyer in Germany, USA could have seen that I could have beat him. Right. And they got behind me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who was 6'5". I would jab him. I cut him.
Torsten, yeah, I remember that guy. Tall.
6'5", money?
He was 6'5". I'll jab him. I cut his eye open in the Olympics. I cut his eye open an inch long. Yeah. The fight should have been stopped. They stole my gold medal. The kid who won the silver medal, I beat him a month for the Olympics. But it is what it is. Let's talk about Raul. Let's talk about Raul.
No, you're right.
But they come back every now and then. It come back. You got to talk about it, man. It's therapeutic.
They stole my medal, bro.
Yeah,
I don't have a medal to show my kids, and I beat the gold medals and the silver medals. Come on, man. But Raul, Marquez, and Robert Allen drew each other the first night in the Olympic trials.
The Olympic trials.
It was on USA Today. It was the biggest fight in the tournament. How did you feel about that moment?
Everybody, I remember when we drew each other and they said Robert Allen and Raul Marquez, the first fight. Everybody was like, ooh. Well, let me tell you something. Look, let me tell you the history about that fight. I believe it was 1992, and I was going to, I think it was me, Larry Donald, and Eric Griffin. We were at the Olympic Training Center. We were getting ready to go to Germany for World Challenge. It was the world champion against the #1 guy. And I was fighting Francisco Vastak, which is back then it was a Romanian guy. And he was the world champion. He was a world champion. And I lost to him. Over there in Germany. He was a world champion. But let me tell you how bad the decision was. I lost to him. I fought him at the Goodwill Games too. And I lost to him at the World Championships in '89. I got a bronze medal at the World Championships in Moscow, 1989. But we fought 3 times. But anyways, I fought him at the World Challenge, all right? The decision was so bad. I mean, this is all world champions against the top #1 guy, okay? It's called the World Challenge. The decision was so bad that I didn't get the decision. They gave me the Outstanding Fighter of the Tournament Award. How do you get that, Montell? I got the Outstanding Fighter of the Award of the night. Like, I was Outstanding Fighter. Why do you think I got that? Because they knew that I had beat them, you know? Ooh. But yeah, getting back to that, getting back to the Robert Allen fight, you know, like we were talking about Robert Allen, right? Yeah. Well, you know, we're getting back to the Robert Allen. That year, Robert Allen, when I was training to go to Germany, they had the nationals, and they had the nationals there in Colorado Springs. Robert Allen was knocking everybody out. Everybody, 1 or 2 rounds. The guy's powerful, had good, strong Marines. I mean, that guy could twirl, like we used to say back in the days. We used to twirl, baby. All right. So I think Chris Birdie invented that word, twirl. Okay. So yeah. So anyways, he was knocking everybody out in the finals. He knocked everybody out. 5-0, 5 knockouts. They interviewed him, right? They said, they said, now, so what do you think about fighting Raul Marquez? He's the #1 guy. But he's like, well, I don't have to worry about Raul Marquez. Raul Marquez has to worry about me, you know, in the interview. I got that interview. I've seen it. I got it recorded when he said that. And trust me, man, was it intimidating? Hell yeah. This guy's knocking everybody out. I knew sooner or later I was going to meet this guy in the Olympic trials because he won the Nationals. So we draw each other, like Montell said, in the Olympic trials. You know, they draw numbers fights or whatever. They do in the bracketing. Bam. Raul Marquez, Raul Marquez, Robert Allen. Ooh, it was like, man, I'm telling you, everybody was watching that fight. It was everybody. And me and Robert Allen had a hell of a fight, man. We were going back and forth. I felt that I was winning the first, second round. I got the best of them. Third round, I twirled with him. I caught him with some good shots, gave him an 8 count, caught him again with some good shots, gave him another 8 count. Then I really caught him with a good shot, and I stopped him, man. It was a huge, huge win because I knew that. Guess what? I stopped him now. I don't have to deal with this guy. I know they can't pick him as we still have the box up after that. Guess what? They're not going to pick him as an alternate because they suspend you when you get stopped. They suspend you. So I'm like, man, thank God I don't have to deal with the guy, man. Because I'll tell you something. Robert Allen, the dude could punch.
Check this out.
Every time he hit me, I could feel his punches, man. The dude could punch, man. So,
but you stopped him.
I stopped him. Yeah, I stopped him.
Robert, you know what I'm saying? I could tell when Robert was getting tired, and I think you could tell too. You started picking it up. You picked it up and you put it on.
Activity.
Right, activity, and the amateur fighting gonna be allowed to go on down that long.
Activity, and I just had more experience than him too, man. All the international experience that means a lot too. And all the international experience, activity, but he had a big card. And anyways, I stopped him, and then after that, I fought Lonnie Bradley, another good fighter he was a WBO middleweight champion, Lonnie Bradley. And then in the finals, I fought Antoine Eccles, another killer, man, powerful. He had a great professional career. He fought Bernard Hopkins, fought a lot of good names, anyways, I had to beat 3 good guys to make the Olympic team. And, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. You know what? Just imagine me being on top for 4 years and for somebody to come last minute and take that away from me.
Who does things like that?
Montell Griffin. Montell Griffin does. You know who does things like that? The Iceman. That's what he did. That's what he did.
I moved to LA December 1990, and I told my man, I said, I'm finna make the Olympic team. And he started laughing. I told Marty Dinkin. He said to Marty Dinkin, said, look, why don't you, I boxed Vince Durham. I boxed Reggie Johnson and Vince Durham. He said, look, kid, you ready to turn pro? I said, no, I'm waiting for the Olympics. He said, there's no way you'll make the team. I said, okay, let's see. I said, well, let's wait and see. And after I made the team, he said, man, you told me. I said, I knew couldn't nobody beat me. I knew couldn't nobody beat me. I just say this, Raul, and I ain't gonna make a big deal about it now. I was undefeated in the amateurs. I never lost to Jeremy. I never lost to the German. I was undefeated. I should have turned pro. I should have turned pro with a gold medal, undefeated. I'd have been a superstar, but they ain't want that to happen.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like things, I don't know. It's just destiny in life. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I lost it. Like me, I'm gonna sit here and cry about me. I lost in the quarterfinals, right? I lost to Orphan Delivers in the quarterfinals. If you go back and look at the fight, it was a close fight. Back then it was Bob Papa doing the broadcasting with Wally Matthews, right? The triple cast. Bob Papa thought I won the fight. Wally Matthews thought I lost the fight. Like I said, it was a close fight. I thought I won, but it was a close fight. But what hurts, you know what hurts, Montell? That guy went out to the finals and got a silver medal. And who did he lose to? Juan Lemus. Juan Lemus, I beat 3 months before the Olympics, bro. You know what I mean? And I really beat him. I kicked it. I mean, I gave him an 8 count. I beat him. It was on HBO. A lot of fighters HBO did amateur boxing, right? And I beat him. And so when going into the Olympics, man, I was favored to win at least a bronze medal, at least. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. I still feel like I had a great amateur career. I had an okay. I became world champion. I had a okay professional career, and thank God that now because I've been doing broadcasting since 1996, like different networks, in Spanish, English, and all that. And I've been with Showtime now doing the Showbox series and then doing the big fights in Spanish. I've been with them for eight years now, going on 8 years, and I'm blessed to be a part of the Showtime family. Like it's a great gig. I love to do the broadcasting. I love to, hang around, all the other broadcasters, Mauro Ronaldo, my Spanish guy, Alejandro Luna, Al Bernstein, Brian Custer. It's good to be there, man.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I saw another guy. It wasn't Rich Morata, was it? It was who was the guy?
We used to work with Rich Morata.
I'm talking about who's the guy who said you ready to take over for Paulie?
Barry Tompkins. Rich Morata. Rich Morata. Yeah.
So,
yes.
So I'm not gonna set you up. I'm just gonna say how you feel about. What's going on? What's happening? You ready for that job?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I have a lot of experience. I've gotten better through the years. Working on Showbox. With Hall of Famers like Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood, and yes, I think I could do the job, man. I'm excited, and I think it's my time. It's my time. I feel that I could be there, and I feel like it could be my spot.
I just say this. I'm not here to put Paulie down or nothing. All I gotta say, I don't care if he racist or not. I just want to know that wasn't. Look, we all men. First of all, we all men. We've been all over the world.
Right.
We fight. And I don't care about what race is better and what. We all fighters, man. Why you gotta bring up the blacks don't dominate like they used? Come on, man. Let's box and watch boxing. Why we gotta bring race up? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he should have got fired or whatever. I'm just saying.
Right.
I just thought he put himself in a bad situation. Just leave the race out of this. It's too much race going on right now. With the Black Lives Matter. It's just too much. Let's just enjoy the sport, man.
Let's just talk about boxing. Yeah, I agree.
Raul Marquez. Like I said, I looked up to Raul Marquez in 1991, 92. I came to the U.S. Championship in 91. The Sports Fest in 91. I saw you guys fight. 92. I won a U.S. Championship. I still wasn't on the scene yet. I had to. I made it to the trials. That's what made me get on the scene. And I look up to Oscar De La Hoya. I look up to Sergio Reyes. I don't care about nobody color, man.
Right.
You a good fighter. I don't care. You don't need to be a certain color to be a good fighter to me. Everybody got their own style. You had the pressure style. Walk to a guy. You know what I'm saying? Break him down. Whatever.
Exactly.
I respected that. Yeah. I respect Larry Donald moving and jabbing and boxing.
Muhammad Ali, yeah, and I respect the style like you, man. Very slick, hard to get. You got down low. It's very difficult style to figure out.
I'm already low,
but you got down lower. That made it more difficult. That makes it a lot difficult when you get down lower, man. Trust me, it's hard to fight a guy like that. I've always said I'd rather fight a guy that's taller than me because I specialize in body punches, going to the body, than a fight a guy that's short and stocky and bald that looks like the Iceman Griffin. Hey, you don't want to fight guys like that, man. You don't want to fight.
You too big for me now. We can't fight now. Big for me.
It seemed like though. Let me jump in real quick, y'all. It seemed like though the boxing fraternity. I don't see a lot of race with y'all with that. It seemed like y'all got a strong fraternity of guys, man.
Let me tell you something. When I saw, I'm gonna tell you something. Like Emmett Litton, I fought him 5 times. Revea Springs, we fought 2 or 3 times. When I saw Revea Springs in Cincinnati, Ohio, we hadn't seen each other in years. Man, we were like kids in a candy store. We were hugging each other, man. What's going on? Hey. When I saw Emmett Litton, same thing too. When I see Montell, hey, what's up? It's like. I never fought Montell, but you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of love, man. It's a lot of love, and we know it's hard to explain. Like, look, you were not a fighter, right? You were not a fighter, but
no.
When we were fighters, like we know what it takes. Like we know that when we're top elite fighters, and we know the sacrifices, man. Like we respect each other. It's love, man. It's just love, bro. It's hard to explain. You know what I mean, Montell? Right. It's like we know we've been there before. And every time we see each other, man, we have reunions or whatever. Everybody's happy and talking to each other.
I know Montell's always happy. Montell, your favorite picture this, Montell, is you.
Man, come on, man. Life is short, bro.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy life, man.
Yeah.
I'm not finna sit around and argue, get into it with nobody no more. Man, I'm about positivity, bro. I don't want, I'm a blow. I'm gonna sit back and relax and chill out and be cool like I am. That's what I want to do.
But what's your greatest comfort level knowing when you go in the bar, Money?
My thing was, if I was 100%, if I was right, I wouldn't worry about nobody else. To this day, okay, I had 59 pro fights. I had 33 amateur fights from 91 on. I had some junior fights when I was 9, 10, 11, but from 1991, I had 33 amateur fights, 59 pro fights. I've never been in the ring with somebody who I thought was better than me. Even though I lost to Roy Jones, I never been in the ring with somebody who I said, "Oh, he's better than me."
Right.
I don't think competitors do that though.
But it really, they wasn't better than me. I mean, they won the fight, but it was a certain situation, but things didn't go my way.
You know what?
But,
I could see that. I know. I could see the way you're thinking. I agree with that comment. Because sometimes maybe things didn't go right that in camp, or maybe things didn't go right during the fight. That just because he beat you doesn't mean he necessarily was better than you. I agree.
Yeah, I'll actually say that, but I'm gonna read something right quick, and I'm gonna see if Raul agree. It say if you walk into a boxing gym, you'll see things like police officers mixing with ex-criminals, the rich mixing with the poor, different races mixed together, no false pretenses, just love and unity. The world would be a better place if it was more like a boxing gym. I've been in a boxing gym. I'm 50 years old. I've been in a boxing gym for 48 years, and I've never seen racism in a boxing gym. I've never seen no racist fight. I ain't never seen nobody get into no racism. I don't know if Raul have. I've never seen it.
Nah, man. You just look. We all work together. You go, man. We go in the ring. We're competitive no matter what. We're competitive. We go in the ring. If I went in the ring with, not right now, man. We're 50 years old. Honestly, man, I wouldn't want to hit Montell, but when we're younger, like we go in the ring, we beat the crap out of each other, bam, whatever. When we come out of the ring, hugging each other, good sparring, man, let's do it again. Let's get better together. Let's do teamwork, teamwork. Let's work on our errors, on our mistakes, and just to get better. And then we'll have another sparring session, beat the crap out of each other, whatever. And then after that, we're still friends. Good work, good sparring. That's the way it should be. That's the way it is.
And let me ask you a question, Ice. Okay, I don't box, but I know it takes a lot of discipline. And when you say a lot of discipline, Ice and Raul, take me through the training, what it leads up to a fight. Like your meals, you're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, no sex, no drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like people, they say, man, it's like the life of a boxer is nuts, man. The training process.
It is. I mean, basically, look, it's pretty simple. It's about the time you put in. It takes a lot of discipline. That's the most important thing. Just having the discipline. And everybody has different training regimens. Like some people might want to train at 3 o'clock in the morning, like Floyd Mayweather used to train 2 o'clock, whatever time he trained. Some people want to train in the morning. Some people want to train during lunchtime or in the evening or whatever. But at the end of the day, is like how much time you put in the gym, how many hours, and you just really want it. And you got to be in shape, because when you're inside the ring, man, nobody's going to help you. I mean, your corner is going to tell you what to do and what you're doing wrong, and they give you some water, pump you up. But when the bell rings, it's just you and the guy across on the other side of the ring, and you gotta figure it out. If you run out of gas, you're done. So, and like you said, no sex, women and stuff. I mean, you got to be disciplined. You have to be discipline and stay away from all that while you're in training camp. The party and the drinking, all that comes after victory. For a little bit, you can't continue partying for 4 to 6 weeks, and then maybe a couple of days or whatever, have your good time, and that's it. But it's just hard work, man. It's a hard work, and that's what it takes. Not just in the boxing world, but in in the sports world, any basketball player, football player. It's the time you put in the gym and the time you put in to get you ready, for competition. And that's why you have You know, that's why you got champions. That's why you got superstars, because they put in that work. Yeah.
It's a very lonely game. It's a very lonely game. You got to get up. I mean, it's fun. I mean, well, as Raul and Nell can tell you, the amateurs was fun because you train, you traveling with 11 other guys from different countries. I mean, from different states, from different
cities.
Y'all learn each other, you know, hanging out, having fun. And in amateurs, you mess around a little bit, Bob. You did a little stuff that we shouldn't have did, but we did it because it was amateurs. But as a pro, like just going to camp with like 4 or 5 people, 2 or 3 trainers, you and the sparring partners. You go into the gym, you spar with 2 or 3 fresh guys every day. You know, everybody, you know, is up for you because they want to make a name for themselves. So ain't no days off. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go in there. The only person I ever seen get a day off was Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe walked to the gym and told Eddie Futch, I'm not sparring today. Eddie Futch said, you sparring. He got in the room. We was in New Orleans. He got in the ring. The bell ring. Ding. He came out. Hit the dude with the right hand right on the button, knocked him out cold, and said, I told you I wasn't sparring. And got out the ring and went to the back. That was the coldest shit I've ever seen in my life. He said, okay. He went out the ding, boom, knocked dude out cold, looked at him and said, I told you I'm not sparring. Get out the
Are you supposed to knock out your sparring partner, though?
He didn't want to. He said he didn't fight sparring. He didn't spar that day. So if you can punch that good, you can do it. But like my best moment and loneliest moment in boxing is when they get the instructions in the middle of the ring right before the fight, and everybody who was talking all that shit get out the ring. Everybody in the ring talking shit. Oh, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. When they finish the instructions, everybody get out the ring and they say, "Hey, good luck," and they give you a pound while they leaving. It's just you by yourself.
Right. I think, for me, it just coming out of the locker room. You know, when you got the music on, you coming out of the locker room, all the introductions, just waiting to get introduced. It's like, man, just let the bell ring. I want to see what this guy's about. You know, that's when you're like, I mean, it's a lonely moment. It's a nervous moment. I mean, to me, you can't say, a fighter cannot say, I don't care if he's an elite fighter or up-and-coming fighter. You have to get, I mean, if you're not, I feel like if you're not nervous, then something's not right. You know what I mean? There's a lot. I mean, I used to get nervous walking down, you know, when you come out of your locker room and you're walking down to the ring, they're playing your music or whatever, you're waiting for the introduction. To me, that is the loneliest, scariest moment. It's like, I've been working hard. You're talking to yourself. Please let the bell ring. I'm ready to go, man. I want to feel what this guy's about. I want to, you know, I want to start the fight. So yeah, to me, that's the loneliest moment.
I'm not trying to upset you. But maybe because I was in the ring and so early, so young, I was never nervous. I wouldn't. That's why. That's where the name Ice came from. Eddie Futch told somebody else gave me the name Ice. Eddie Futch told somebody, I've never seen nobody this calm in a big situation, and that's how Ice got stuck. I think I was just like, okay, when I came back in the amateurs, I think I was too dumb to be nervous. Like when I fought the world champion in Russia, I was like, I just only been fighting a year. I'm like, why be nervous for? I ain't got time to be nervous.
Yeah, right.
And so my situation is a little bit different. My little situation. I understand where you're coming from, but I had a talk with it. Failed. Go ahead.
And well, the thing about it is, you know, when I talk about nervous, I mean, there's people that can't control that nervous. You know, you got to be able to control it. You know, I would get nervous, but you know, I'm a pro. I have experience, and I knew how to control that being nervous. Some people just can't control it, man. It really gets to them bad. So, I could see how you just felt comfortable, like my son Giovanni, like, you know, being that he's my son, and whenever he's gonna fight, everybody wants to see him, and that's a lot of pressure for him. And guess what? He pretty much knows how to control it. Like that. I never noticed that he's nervous or he's feeling pressured. That he's pretty good at controlling that, because it's hard. It's still pressure, you know.
Look what he's been around you,
and he's been man. His older brothers, I mean, I see old videos that they come up with for the past. Man, he was like 3 years old. They were slapping him around, boxing. So maybe that probably has a lot to do with it. I'm serious, because he's the younger brother. He's got a brother that's 27. He's got a brother that's got 24. Okay, and they were slapping him around. Giovanni's 19, and like,
so he was like, man,
like I'm telling you, that's probably why he doesn't get nervous because
that's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
The youngest never get nervous because we've been through it all. My big brother, 10 years older than me, he beat the shit out of me every day. What am I get nervous for?
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's what it is, man.
When I was 5 years old, my mother gave me a whipping, and I cried. Well, my brother said, check this out, man. If you ever cry again, I'm going to beat your ass when she done.
Damn.
Friends, like, something wrong with him. Like, he don't cry. No, my brother, who is bigger and stronger than you, is going to beat my ass worse than you, so I'm not going to cry.
But your mama wouldn't keep whooping you if you didn't cry?
I was sparring. When I was 12 years old, I had a sparring partner who was 22. He was Korean. His name was Myeon Kyu Yim. I'll never forget. He was 22. I was 12. I had grown men beat me up. So, man, how you going to whip me? How do I care about a whipping? But everything is good, man. My man Diamante, Raul Marquez, I got mad love for him. 1992 Olympian. He's gonna be my man, my brother for life. We went to the most dirtiest Olympics in boxing history.
In 1992?
1992, they came in with the computer scoring, and it ruined everything. It ruined everything.
Yeah, there was a lot of, I'm not going to lie, there was a lot of bad decisions. And Montell's decision was one of the worst ones, man. And I know it hurts. You know, we could never go back, you know, because I do feel, Montell, that they took your medal away, man. It's true. It was a bad decision, man. And of course, things could have been different, too, when you turned pro, if you would have won the gold medal, because you would have been more marketable. You know how it goes, man.
Yeah,
we could do a documentary on that. Like, remember we was talking about like they did for the Dream Team. Y'all was down there with them. Have they ever done that on y'all team? Remember
that was the first Olympics with the pros.
Yeah, right. That was the first time that the Dream Team was there. Magic and Barkley, all them guys were over there.
Right.
But
Bob, check this out. My lawyer threatened USA Boxing and had put a lawsuit against USA Boxing. That's how I made the Olympic team. Of course, I had to win the fight, but he got me a situation. His wife came down to support me. So at one of the games, the next morning, she came to my room. She was like, something ain't right. I said, what you mean? She was like, y'all team captain. Oh, no, not the team. The team manager was at the Dream Team game with all his friends. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how he do that? He thought that he would never find out. He didn't know nobody else had. See, my lawyer was rich, so she could pay $4,000 for a ticket, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This guy stole our Dream Team tickets and took his friends instead of taking us. Ain't that crazy, bro?
Man, damn, we gotta get the group together, man. Get all the guys together for this.
That would be fun.
Yeah, man. Because you watched the Dream Team with the basketball. I think y'all story would be better than that because it's boxing.
It was a crazy story.
I mean, it'd be hard to be better than that. I mean, it'll have its own story.
It was a crazy story, man. Eric Griffin. Right. Raul, me,
Eric had a bad decision, man.
Terrible.
Eric's decision was terrible, man.
Terrible, man. It was terrible, man.
So that whole thing was botched up down there.
Well,
with the whole digital thing.
Well, you know, with the computer scoring, they saying it could be better. No, it can't. If a man make it, a man can break it.
Right.
Look, the punch I hit Torsten Meyer with, who cut his eye open, they gave it to him. So I lost my fight 6-4, right? They gave him the punch that I hit him, cut him, and they gave him 3 points because they said my head was low when I'm 5'7". So that's 4 points right there. I lost 6-4. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
4 points. So
that's
it is
crazy.
What it is. Nothing you can do about it, but I mean, I'm gonna be hurt
man. We're gonna get it out, man. We're gonna get that story out about y'all team, man. The other Dream Team, man.
The Nightmare Team.
The Nightmare Team, yeah.
If you remember, do you remember the fight when Oscar was bleeding on his cheek and the doctor checked his eye twice? They were going to try to stop his fight. He had a little piece of blood dripping from his cheek, and the doctor checked his eye twice. That was crazy, man.
I think maybe they were trying to do something funny there too, man. Who knows? Who knows, man?
But okay,
that's crazy.
You turned pro. I know you was upset with your Olympic experience because you being a top amateur, you didn't get the medal like you wanted.
Right.
You turned pro. How did you feel going pro? Did you feel you was ready?
I was ready, man. I was excited. I was excited that's what we're in the amateurs. Yeah, we want to get a gold medal, but obviously I got to the top of the amateur boxing system. I mean, I made the Olympic team, and I had a great amateur career, won a lot of national titles, and I was excited to turn pro, man. I wanted to win a world title. I wanted to fight the best. Back in my time, I thought it wasn't so much business for me. Like I wanted to fight the best to be the best, So that's the way I thought. That's the way my team thought, and it was fun. I was excited when I turned pro.
Okay, who do you feel was your biggest step up in the competition? Was Anthony Stevens or Romanus Ellis?
Romanus Ellis was a good. I mean, I defended my title against Romanus Ellis. He was a smaller guy, but he won a bronze medal in the Olympics in '88 Olympics, and he had a lot of experience. But I would think when I won the vacant world title, Anthony Stevens, I fought for the world title because I know Terry Norris was there, so he vacated the title. And I ended up fighting Anthony Stevens for the vacant title, who had given Phyllis Trinidad a hell of a fight. Anthony Stevens was a good fighter, man, a good amateur fighter and good pro fighter. He beat some pretty good, decent guys, And as a matter of fact, he dropped Trinidad. Everybody used to drop Trinidad, but I believe he lost to Trinidad. They stopped the fight in the 11th round, and it was a good fight. I think it was I want to say a weird stoppage when I don't know if you saw that fight, but when Trinidad stopped Stevens. But anyways, I fought him for the vacant title. Tough guy. I stopped him in 9 rounds, and after that, I fought Romanus Ellis. I fought Keith Mullins. That was another tough guy for the Olympic trials. We didn't mention him, and I knew Keith Mullins was a tough fight. I beat him by split decision. And, then I lost to your boy Kappas. But that night, Keith Mullins knocks out terrible Terry Norris to win the WBC title. Wow. That's how good.
10-1 underdog. I called and told all my friends. I called my friend in Vegas, man, put this bet down. I said, he going to beat Terry Norris. I said, Keith Mullins is tough as hell. Yes. I sparred Keith Mullins. That's why I sparred in the Olympic, for the Olympic team.
Really?
54, but he was at 56, but I sparred him 2 or 3 times, because Jeremy and John Weiss didn't come.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I sparred Keith Mullins, tough as hell. But I got to go backwards right quick. Because I don't know who chose the fight, who picked the fight, but you and Skipper Kelp were scheduled to fight, and y'all couldn't even keep a straight face doing.
Oh, what happened in that fight? Oh, man, that was funny. What happened in that fight, I wasn't even supposed to fight Skipper. I was going to fight someone else, okay? So Skipper came in. I think he was training for another fight. And when Lou Duva said, man, you're going to fight somebody that he's a friend of yours. And then when he told me, I was like, man, I'm Skipper Kelp. I'm going to, man. And, Skipper used to cut my hair at the Olympic Training Center. Remember? And, we were close. We're all friends and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm going to have to fight Skipper Kelp. And, yeah, that was on USA Tuesday Night Fights.
Yeah, I remember.
Man, I couldn't. We couldn't do the face-off, everything. But when the bell rang, we had to take care of business. That's the way it is.
Wow. Yeah, nothing personal.
Nothing personal. Exactly.
Personal. Skipper Kelp. So one thing I want to ask you. I'm gonna let you go, Raul, but I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, who fought was this? After the Keith Mullins fight. We in Vegas. We training at UNLV. And I see you got marks on your face, your hands swollen.
Right.
Bro, why are you fighting? I said,
yeah.
I said, why are you fighting? You was beat up from the Keith Mullins fight. This was 2 months later. Your hands were swollen. Your face was beat up. Why are you taking this fight? So why did that fight go on, Raul?
Man, look, me and my father, we were new at the whole managerial, the whole professional boxing scene, whatever, right? And even during sparring camp, my dad would say, man, let's not fight because your face is, your sparring is getting it's swelling up, man. It's your face is not ready. But we got convinced one way or another by the promoters and the promoters, Top Rank. We got convinced to take the fight with possibly a promise to fight the Golden Boy the following year. Okay. And we said, man, we could beat. I'm telling you, any other time I could have beat Europa Campus. The fight was even when they stopped it, but my face just couldn't hold up, man. It just got swollen because it was still messed up from the Mullins fight. As the doctor said, it was traumatized from the inside. The outside, it looked okay, but the inside, it hadn't healed. So my face just started swelling and swelling. It wasn't even, I had little bitty cuts.
Right.
That's nothing, but it was a swelling that I couldn't see, man. So they, and he hit me and I couldn't see, and they stopped the fight. But at that point, the judges had it even. One judge had it for me, one judge had it for him, and one judge had it even. So it was an even fight. But I'm telling you, had I been able to see right, I would have beat Campos, But again, we took that fight because there was a promise for the promoter to fight the Golden Boy the following year. And that was a big money fight. That would have been a big money fight. It was a good story, good storyline behind it, how we were roommates and all that. And I mean, I wanted that fight. Why wouldn't I?
Well, since you brought it up, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you brought it up, since y'all were roommates, hey, Bob, him and Oscar De La Hoya was inseparable. They was together every time I saw Oscar. Raul was there. Every time I saw Raul, Oscar was there. We talked when we both turned pro. We was at UNLV. He was like, man, my man, your man phony as hell, bro. He ain't no real dude. He ain't my friend. He ain't no real guy. What happened?
Well, I mean,
was it the fame? He got the gold medal and change? What?
I don't know, man. To tell you the truth, it had to be, just maybe people around him. It was always hard to get to Oscar, but me and Oscar were close, man. We were very close. You know how it was. Yeah. So, it could have been people around him, family members on. I really couldn't tell you. We just lost contact, and you would think that I could, as close as we were, you would think I could pick up the phone and call him like I call you, right? And like I call Larry Donald, like I called, Sergio Reyes, all these guys, all these guys we came up with, Unfortunately, it's not like that for whatever reason. And it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. What else can you do?
That's it.
2003, you fought Sugar Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
How did y'all end up fighting? Come on, there's some old friends.
Sugar Shane Mosley, I made that fight because they were looking for an opponent for Sugar Shane Mosley to fight at 154. Okay, they needed a name opponent, a guy that's going to give him a good fight. I believe Sugar Shane Mosley was moving up in weight to 154. Or something like that. And that was before he fought Oscar in the rematch that same year. He beat Oscar the first fight, and then he fought Oscar in the rematch after he fought me. But, I know Oscar De La Hoya was saying, well, Mosley needs to fight, because Oscar calls the shots. He needs to fight somebody. And I was the guy. I felt, man, I'm the guy. I called Mosley, and the promoter, man, that big time guy that he was dealing with at one point from the advertising agencies. I forget the guy's name. I got on the phone with him. I said, look, I'm willing to fight Shane. And he talked to Shane. I believe me and Shane got on the phone. And hey, it's business. I'm trying to feed my family. And we ended up fighting each other, man. We made the fight. We talked about the money, everything else. We made the fight, and we banged heads in the third round. Really bad. But I feel the fight was gonna get good, man. Too bad I banged heads, but the fight was gonna get good. But whatever, I saw Shane out. Every time I see Shane, hey, what's going on? We hang out. Good guy. It's all good.
That's great, man.
08, you fought Abraham, and you retired after that fight.
Yes.
You was just done with boxing?
I was done, 37 years old. I worked myself up to fight for the middleweight title. I fought Giovanni Lorenzo, a Dominican guy that they were pumping up. He was undefeated. He was supposed to beat me for the #1 spot. I beat him on Showtime, and that earned me the fight with Arthur Abraham. I gave it my all. Abraham he was a killer, man. Strong, powerful, just strong fighter, good fighter, man. You saw what he did to Jermaine Taylor and a lot of other guys. And I didn't win. I was 37 years old. I knew that I had a future after boxing from doing all the broadcasting that I'd done. So obviously, and I had a plan. So, and then look where I'm at now. Like, I've been with Showtime for 8 years, and it's good, man. It's all good.
I know that's good. Showtime, man. Top network.
It's all
top
good.
Network.
Hey, I want to thank my special guest, Raul Marquez, my brother, my class 92 teammate, world champion, TV commentator. He's doing it all. He's a great guy. And I just want to say thanks, bro, for coming on, doing the show.
Hey, Montell, anytime, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And we're blood brothers, man. We did a lot of things together. We're Olympians. We always keep in touch. We see each other at the amateur tournaments, at the fights, and we're blessed. And we're blessed that we could talk. We got our faculties. Because boxing is so. Right. You know what it does to other fighters. I mean, unfortunately, but we're both conscious of what we say, and we speak well. So I mean, that means a lot.
No doubt, my man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, since we're the same weight class now, I'm gonna come up to Houston.
Hey, bring it, baby. Whenever you're ready. I love you, bro.
Raul.
El Diamante.
All right, guys.
Marquez, thanks, man. Right. Have a good one, brother.
All right.
Money, man. We up out of here. Montell Ice Grip Boxing Show. We signing off, y'all. Peace.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.